we've gone through and we've started the first half of all of our 4 positional rankings: the quarterbacks, the running backs, receivers, and of course tight ends. As a nice little break though, we're going to throw in a little mock draft here for you guys. Over on Instagram, I asked you guys to give me a number for the first ever mock draft on the channel, and you guys screwed me a little bit, but we ended up deciding on the number 6 position. So we're here at the number 6 spot. But before we get into it, if you guys do enjoy what you're seeing or hearing, go ahead and support us down below, of course. As we're growing, we're closing in on 200 subscribers, so please help us hit that mark. I guarantee if you like the podcast, you or your best friends will enjoy it too. So go ahead and share with them as we're on that milestone to 200 subscribers on the channel. Can't thank you guys enough. But without further ado, let's get into this number 6 spot, as it might be one of the worst this year in fantasy football. Alright, just a quick run through here of the positions and all of the stuff we're going to set. I wanted to go with more of a balanced mock draft here for the first one on the channel. So we're going to do 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 quarterback. We're going to have 1 flex spot, 5 bench spots or so, no kickers or defenses in this mock draft, just because that's the last 2 rounds of your mock draft anyway, right? But without further ado, let's see who can fall to us at 6. We're here at the number 6 spot, as you see. CMC, Eckler, Saquon, Justin Jefferson here falls all the way to 5. But then Derrick Henry is there at 5. Excuse me, Jefferson was at 4. But that leaves me here with a pretty easy decision. We're going to go Jamar Chase here. Full PPR league. I expect him to widen the gap even more there in Cincinnati as the true alpha in that offense. As right now, usually in most drafts, he'll go at the 1 or 2 spot with Jefferson. He falls all the way to 6 for us in this draft. As after us, it was Jonathan Taylor, Tyreek Hill, Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Travis Kelce, and Ramondre Stevenson to close out the first round. To kick off the second, we had Ken Walker. Cooper Kupp falls all the way to the 202. That's something to look out for here in 2023. Nick Chubb, CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs followed that. And of course then Tony Pollard, which was someone I was going to look at here with this second selection. Now, I will say I do love my teams when I do start with a wide receiver and running back, just with how valuable or how good these mid-round wide receivers are. But we're going to stick here. We're not going to pass here on Davante Adams, as Davante is just too good of a player to pass up. It sucks that Breece Hall, we left him on the board there. Maybe he gets back to us. Maybe he gets back to us. He doesn't. But that's okay, as we're going to look over here at our roster on the left-hand side of your screen. Jamar Chase, Davante Adams, can't really beat that, right? That start to a draft. But Dalvin Cook, we're going to stay away. He's a big red flag. We don't even know what team he's going to be playing for here in 2023. Right now, it does look like the Vikings, but we're just going to stay away from that just to be sure. I do see Garrett Wilson here. He is a top 10 receiver for me in fantasy this season. Waddle's just outside. And let's look over at the tight ends. Let's look over the tight ends, see if there's anything crazy here. We do not see. It looks like Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce have gone. Yes, indeed, and Hockenson. So Hockenson went early, but this draft is a little bit weird. We're still going to go with Garrett Wilson. We're going to get 3 top 10 receivers to me this upcoming season. Sounds absolutely crazy to see, or it is absolutely crazy just to see on my team here. But as you see after my Davante Adams pick, we had Najee, Mark Andrews, ETN, Breece Hall, Hockenson closed out the second round. The Sun God, Amon-Ra, opened up the third round, and he was followed by Devontae Smith, James Conner, A.J. Brown, Aaron Jones, and then we went Garrett Wilson. So 3 straight wide receivers in a 2 wide receiver league. I guess we were strictly going for that PPR, that full PPR upside, as to me, I have 3 top wide receivers on my team. But moving over here to the 4th round, look, we do see Jalen Hurts. I think this is going to be the way we go. I wish I had a Devontae Smith or an A.J. Brown to get that stack, because every year I do like to have 1 stack on my teams. And, I see Dallas Goedert here. I would love to start maybe Jalen Hurts and then come back around and get Goddard. And especially if we look at this draft board here, there's 2 teams here that do have a tight end, but we see team 2, 3, and 4 don't. So we're going to have to, or 2, 3, and 5, excuse me. But I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts, a guy that brings rushing upside, a guy that's a top 3 quarterback for me. He's a 1A, 1B, 1C type situation. and I didn't see the tight end get taken. Dallas Goedert for me is right there with uh, George Kittle right in my rankings, and I would love to maybe get that stack here, start that. But I would also love to have Jameer Gibbs, however you want to pronounce it, right? But to me, we're struggling at running back, and in a full PPR league, why not get one of the guys that can catch all of the passes this offseason or this upcoming season here with Detroit, a guy that was drafted with the number 12 pick, a guy that is stepping in for DeAndre Swift, who had all the passing work last year. Sure, David Montgomery is there. He is in town, but at the same time, David Montgomery's he's more so going to be a power back in the red zone, and Jamar Gibbs is going to get the passing work there. And a full PPR again, that's what you want. You want a back that can catch a lot of passes. But moving over here to our next pick, as we do see Mike Williams and Javonte Williams is there. We also see Darren Waller. So our tight end did end up going. We were going to try and get that stack of Hurts and Dallas Goedert, but Goddard went a couple picks before us here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and grab a guy that I'm expecting to have a huge season. No, he's not going to be the PPR guy that we want, but Javonte Williams is here, and I think the value of Javonte at this point might be too much to leave him off the board, right? I do like Mike Williams a lot, and Darren Waller. I think Darren Waller is going to be that main back or main guy there, and who knows? Actually, we might go Darren Waller here, as I do typically like to have a decent tight end on my teams as the positional value and the positional advantage you can take with a top tier tight end is exponential, right? But I don't want to draft a tight end if he can't stay healthy for more than 6 games, right? That's the biggest worry. So I'm going to go with a guy that I just personally love to watch, Javonte Williams. We do end up seeing our tight end go there. So unfortunately, oh no, I must have missed it. I must have missed it as after our pick there, we had Mike Williams, Justin Fields, Evan Ingram, Pat Fryermuth, Brandon Ayuk, and then to open up the 7th round, we had a run on quarterbacks. We had Watson, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Kamara, but then he was followed by Dak Prescott. So a run on quarterbacks there. But we are going to get our tight end here in Darren Waller, a guy that he played for the Raiders for many, many years. I had him a couple of those times. And look, he's just going to fill out our roster as now I love the pass catching upside my roster provides right now, right? But let's go over to all positions. I'm not the biggest fan of James Cook here in 2023, even though it is his own backfield. They just don't run enough. And he is a pass catching back, right? The pass catching upside is there. I would just prefer to go a different route as of right now. And AJ Dillon might be in a David Montgomery situation. Same with Brian Robinson, a guy that might have a better year this year. It's tough. George Pickens might have a breakout year, and I might bet on his upside here. James Cook, he's an okay pick. I don't want to go quarterback yet, as in a redraft league, you don't really need to. If this was like an underdog league, sure, I can see it, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm not the biggest fan of George Pickens, right? But I know the upside's there, and I'm going to go George Pickens. We're right on the turn there. We're right in the middle, so hopefully, Brian Robinson did end up going here. I'll give you a quick look at the board. What I was hoping for is Brian Robinson, who he went at the 8-9 turn. I was expecting him to make it all the way back to me, or at least him or James Cook, even Jamal Williams, but they ended up not getting back to me, right? I'm not too mad though, as we still have some okay running back selections here. It's really getting down to the nitty gritty. But AJ Dillon is a guy that we could take, a guy that burned a lot of fantasy players last season. We have 3 good wide receivers. Otherwise, I would look in the direction of a Kadarius Toney if he's still on the board. But I'm going to go AJ Dillon. I'm going to go a guy that has the touchdown upside that Jamal Williams had last year. In the second half of the year, the Packers really started to utilize A.J. Dillon more and more, and he did progress a decent amount throughout the season. So maybe he can keep that momentum going here in 2023. We're all the way here, and we're going to look at the draft board. we have 3 rounds left, right? Because keep in mind, we went with a shorter bench and no kicker defenses, right? So that also shaves off some rounds in the draft. I do like Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz, if you want to talk about consistency, he is the epitome of that, right? And he is my tight end 11 on the year so far. We do see Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney's a guy that could have a breakout year. I think I would prefer Darnell Mooney taking the upside of him over a Michael Thomas, who we're not sure how many games he would actually play. So, with that being said, I think it comes down to Schultz or Darnell Mooney, and I think I would rather take the upside of Mooney over just a consistent guy like Dalton Schultz. I did see Deontay Foreman go there, which is a guy that I would have liked to have, to be completely honest. But Dalton Schultz, I mean, hey, he's still here. He's going to be CJ Stroud's best friend this year. If you guys haven't checked the TikToks out and the YouTube shorts, go over there. They're on the channel. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be a best friend because young quarterbacks love to do one thing. They love to check the ball down, get quick and efficient throws. The best way to do that is to your tight end. But the last pick here, why not? Let's go grab a quarterback, right? And by the looks of it, my highest rated quarterback left is going to be Aaron Rodgers. So I will gladly take Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to take an Aaron Rodgers who he's coming into a year where he has tons to prove, and he's with a Jets team that is going to allow him to throw the ball a lot and be Aaron Rodgers. Just to recap our team here, you see it on your screen. I'm at the quarterback position. We do have a Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers combo, which is a draft. I've done a lot of drafts, and I've seen this combo happen on my team a lot. So I'm not too mad at it. Obviously, 2 top 13 quarterbacks for me this season, including Jalen Hurts, is the number one spot for me in 2023. At the running backs, we have the PPR upside in Jamar Gibbs, however you want to pronounce it. Javonte Williams is there. Not going to give us much passing work, but that rushing upside is going to be there, and he has maybe the best fantasy playoff schedule of any running back here in 2023. So we could also, if we could just get to that point, Javonte can maybe take us home. Of course, Jamar Chase fell to us at number 6. We're going to take that any day of the week. If Jamar Chase is on the board and I'm there, unless I have the number 1 pick, I'm taking Jamar Chase. Devontae Adams, we paired with them. 2 top 7 receivers for me. Not to mention, we paired them with a top 10 receiver to me, Garrett Wilson. So 3 top 10 receivers. We have George Pickens and Darnell Mooney off the bench. Plenty of upside there. And at the tight end position, we have a boomer bust guy in Darren Waller, and then we have a staple of consistency in Dalton Schultz. So we have some guys on this team. We have a little bit of everything. And at the number 6 position, it's very tough that you're not on the ends, right? You're not at the 1. You're not at the 1 or the 12, right? Which in those positions, I typically like to reach and just grab my guys that I love. In the 6th position, you have to wait an equal like 12 picks between every single pick. And it's just a long wait here when you're trying to, when you're anxious and you're trying to get these teams to perfection, the way that you would like. I will say it's far from the best team I've drafted, but, I definitely think it's not the worst team in the world. But right now, I'm very confident in my team. Let me know what you guys think down below of my team. And another great fantasy episode in the books. Next mock draft, we're going to have some different roster rules, right? And construction there. We're also going to have a different draft selection. Maybe we do half PPR. We're going to switch it up here every mock draft. But coming Friday, we have the quarterback rankings, 10 through 1. Should be a fan favorite, right? As the quarterbacks are one of the most favorite positions to talk about. And this year, they've seen an uprise in draft price, right? As we see almost 5-6 quarterbacks go in the top 5 rounds now. A lot of them could even go as early as the 2nd round, right? Just depending on who you're drafting with. But that's going to do it for today's show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out.